Welcome back to USA Coins 1, today the channel where we explore the fascinating world of American coinage, rare treasures, and hidden gems sitting right in your pocket change. Today we are diving deep into one of the most exciting pennies ever minted, the 1974 D. Lincoln penny. At first glance, it might just look like an ordinary 1-cent coin, but what if I told you that some of these pennies have been valued at an absolutely stunning $222,679 in today's market? That's right, a single penny with a history worth more than most luxury cars. Part 2, the background of the Lincoln cent. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It replaced the Indian head cent and became the first regular-issue U.S. coin to feature a real person's portrait. By the time we reached the 1970s, the Lincoln cent was already an American icon. Millions were minted each year, but not every penny is created equal, and the 1974 D penny has an especially interesting story behind it. Part 3, the minting year of 1974. The year 1974 was very unique in U.S. coin history. Inflation was rising, and the U.S. Mint was experimenting with alternatives to the copper composition of pennies. This led to the famous 1974 aluminum cent experiments, but the Denver Mint struck only the standard copper alloy pennies, including the 1974 D. Lincoln penny. While billions were produced, collectors today search for rare varieties, errors, and high-grade examples that can sell for staggering amounts. Part 4, the D. Mint mark. The small letter D below the date on your penny tells you it was minted at the Denver Mint. In 1974, Denver produced over 4.2 billion pennies, but what makes certain coins rare is their condition, errors, or historical significance. A coin minted at Denver that survives in pristine state or with a striking error can become a collector's dream and fetch thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Part 5, the design details. The obverse of the 1974 D penny features the bust of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. The inscriptions include, "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the date 1974 with the D Mint mark. On the reverse, the Lincoln Memorial design appears, created by Frank Gasparo. Inside the memorial, if you look closely, you can even see a tiny statue of Lincoln seated in the center. Every detail matters when it comes to coin grading, and sharpness in these tiny features can add thousands to the value. Part 6, common versus rare examples. Most 1974 D pennies are common, still worth about face value in circulated condition. However, in uncirculated mint state grades, especially in MS67 or higher, they can skyrocket in value. Some exceptional examples with flawless surfaces, brilliant luster, and perfect strikes have stunned the market. That's how we see record-breaking sales, with some coins reaching into the six-figure territory, such as the incredible $222,679 valuation. Part 7, the aluminum cent connection. One reason collectors value 1974 pennies highly is the story of the experimental aluminum cents. The U.S. Mint struck over 1.5 million aluminum cents in 1974 for testing, but almost all were destroyed. A few survived and became legendary rarities. While the 1974 D penny you find in circulation is copper, the hype around 1974 experimental coins has always boosted collector interest in the series. Part 8, key factors that drive value. What makes a 1974 D penny worth thousands? Three main factors: condition, mint state or proof-like coins with no scratches or wear can bring extraordinary prices; errors, double dies, off-center strikes, or other minting mistakes create instant rarities; rarity in grade, even if billions were made, only a handful survive in ultra-high grades like MS67 plus red, making them incredibly desirable. Part 9, grading and market prices. Professional grading services like PCGS and NGC evaluate these pennies. A normal circulated 1974 D penny might only be worth 1 cent, but an MS65 red can sell for $50 to $200. An MS66 red might sell for $500 to $2,000, while the best-known examples in MS67 plus red have reached the jaw-dropping $222,679 mark. Part 10, auction records. The coin market has witnessed amazing auction sales for the 1974 D Lincoln cent. Collectors at major houses like Heritage Auctions and Stack's Bowers have bid fiercely for top-grade examples. Every time a record is set, it inspires more collectors to dig through their pocket change and coin rolls in hopes of discovering the next gem. Part 11. How to identify a valuable 1974 penny. When checking your 1974 penny, look for strong strike with sharp details and Lincoln's hair and coat, brilliant original luster with no spots or tarnish. No scratches, wear, or bag marks. Clear D mint mark with no doubling. If your coin has these qualities, it could be worth submitting for grading and potentially earning thousands. Part 12. Error varieties of 1974 penny. Error coins from 1974 are some of the most fun for collectors. Some rare varieties include double die obverse, die cracks, broad strikes, and even off-center pennies. Each of these errors adds to the rarity and market value, sometimes pushing a simple penny into the hundreds or thousands of dollars category. Part 13. Collecting strategies. If you are building a Lincoln cent collection, the 1974 is a key piece from the 1970s. Collectors often try to find the highest grade available. Searching through coin rolls, estate collections, or old jars of pennies could yield surprising treasures. Even circulated examples can be valuable if they carry unusual errors. Part 14. Investment and market trends. The coin market for Lincoln cents has been strong for decades. Investors know that certain high-grade coins always retain their value. The 1974 penny has become a star of the modern market, with the potential to reach new record highs in the coming years. If you own one in superb condition, holding onto it could be a very wise move. Part 15. Conclusion and call to action. So there you have it, the incredible story of the 1974 Lincoln penny, a coin that might be sitting in your pocket worth only 1 cent, or, in the right condition, worth as much as $222,679. This is why the world of coin collecting is so exciting. You never know when you might come across a hidden treasure. If you enjoyed this journey into coin history and market values, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to USA Coins 1 for more amazing stories about coins that are worth a fortune. Who knows, the next rare penny might be waiting for you right now. Today we are going to explore the incredible story of the 1977 Lincoln penny. You might think a penny is just 1 cent, but this coin has a fascinating history, some rare errors, and current market values that might surprise you. Some examples have been sold for over $200,000, with market listings reaching as high as $222,678. So stay tuned, because you do not want to miss this incredible journey. Part 2. The Lincoln Penny Legacy. The Lincoln cent, first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, has been one of the most iconic coins in American history. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse features the classic bust of Abraham Lincoln facing right. This was the very first circulating American coin to feature a real person's portrait. By 1977, the Lincoln penny had already been in circulation for nearly 7 decades and was still going strong. The Denver Mint, represented by the small letter D below the date, produced millions of these coins in 1977, but some rare ones have become collectors' dreams. Part 3. The year 1977 and coin production. In 1977, America was moving through a decade of change, and coin production reflected the growing demand for everyday currency. The Denver Mint struck more than 4.1 billion Lincoln pennies that year. With such a massive mintage, you may think that every coin is common and holds no special value. But here's the secret: not every penny is created equal. Tiny errors, high-grade conditions, and special characteristics make some of these coins extremely valuable. Part 4. The obverse design details. When you look at the front side of the 1977 penny, you see the bold portrait of President Lincoln. The inscriptions include the word Liberty on the left, the year 1977 to the right, and above Lincoln's head are the famous words, "In God We Trust." If you spot the small d mint mark right below the date, that tells you this coin was minted in Denver. These small details may seem ordinary, but collectors value clarity, sharpness, and condition in every line of the design. Part 5. The reverse design details. Turning the penny over, you see the Lincoln Memorial, a design introduced in 1959 to honor the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. The reverse reads, "United States of America," along the top, e pluribus unum, in the center, and 1 cent at the bottom. In high-quality mint state coins, every pillar of the memorial can be seen clearly, even the statue of Lincoln seated inside. Coins with full details like this can fetch high prices in today's market. Part 6. Metal composition of the 1977 D penny. The 1977 D Lincoln cent is made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, a composition used before the switch to copper-plated zinc coins in 1982. Because of its copper content, even a worn 1977 penny is technically worth more than its face value in metal. Collectors especially love pre-1982 pennies because they contain real copper, giving them extra demand beyond just numismatic value. Part 7. Why condition matters. One of the biggest factors in coin collecting is condition. A 1977 D penny that has circulated heavily might be worth only a few cents. But a 1977 D penny graded mint state 65 or higher by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Flawless coins with strong luster, no scratches, and sharp strike details are the true gems collectors search for. Part 8. Rare errors and varieties. Now here's where things get exciting. Some 1977 D Lincoln pennies have errors that make them incredibly valuable. Double die obverse pennies show doubling on the date or lettering. Off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or repunched mint marks are also highly collectible. These rare errors can multiply the value of a single penny into hundreds or thousands of dollars instantly. Part 9. Auction records and high sales. Collectors have paid extraordinary amounts for high-grade 1977 D pennies. In recent auctions, some flawless examples have sold for prices approaching hundreds of thousands. Records show market values rising, with a current high value estimated around $222,678 for certain rare, nearly perfect specimens. That means a penny you might overlook in your pocket change could actually be worth a small fortune. Part 10. Grading your penny. If you think you might have a valuable 1977 D Lincoln penny, grading is crucial. Coins are graded on a 70-point scale, with mint state 70 being absolutely perfect. Even a grade difference from MS64 to MS65 can mean a huge jump in price. Sending your coin to a professional grading service may unlock its full value and attract serious collectors. Part 11. Collector demand and historical significance. The Lincoln Penny series is beloved by collectors all over the world. The 1977 D penny is not just a piece of change, it's a part of American history. Each coin carries the story of its time, the craftsmanship of the Denver Mint, and the enduring respect for Abraham Lincoln. Collectors want these coins not only for their beauty but also for their historical connection. Part 12. Tips for finding rare 1977 D pennies. So how can you find one of these rare gems? Start by checking your change carefully. Search through rolls of pennies from banks, look in old jars and collections, or attend coin shows and estate sales. Remember, the right coin could be hiding in plain sight. Always look closely at the date, the mint mark, and the condition. Part 13. Investment potential. The 1977 D penny is more than just a collectible, it can also be an investment. As demand grows and fewer high-grade coins remain available, values continue to climb. Collectors and investors know that small coins can turn into big treasures, and the 1977 D penny is a perfect example of this trend. Part 14. Fun facts and interesting details. Did you know that in 1977, a single penny could buy a piece of candy, but today the right 1977 D penny could buy you a car, a house, or more? That's the magic of coin collecting. What started as 1 cent of copper is now a valuable historical artifact, appreciated by people across generations. Part 15. Closing and channel sign-off. So, next time you come across a Lincoln penny, especially from 1977 with a Denver Mint mark, don't dismiss it too quickly. Check it carefully, because you could be holding a coin worth thousands, or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Thank you for joining us here at USA Coins 1, where we uncover the secrets and values hidden in American currency. Make sure to subscribe, like, and share this video with fellow collectors and coin lovers. Until next time, keep searching your change, because treasure might be closer than you think. Today we are diving deep into one of the most iconic coins of the United States Mint, the Lincoln penny from 1978. This little 1-cent coin might look ordinary at first glance, but some of these pieces are worth a lot more than a single cent. In fact, certain rare varieties and mint condition examples of the 1978 Lincoln penny can reach into the hundreds of thousands of dollars. Stay tuned until the end because I am going to break down the complete history, the design, the mint marks, the collector's secrets, and the current market value that is surprising collectors across the world. Part 2, Background of the Lincoln Cent. The Lincoln penny has a legendary story. First introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, it was the very first U.S. coin to feature the portrait of a real historical figure. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin became instantly recognizable. By 1978, the Lincoln cent had already been circulating for nearly 70 years and had firmly established itself as the most collected coin in the United States. Millions of people saved pennies from circulation, and many families even passed down jars of Lincoln cents through generations. But here is the twist: even though billions of 1978 pennies were made, the tiniest differences in strike, condition, and mint mark can make a world of difference in value. Part 3, the 1978 penny composition. In 1978, the Lincoln penny was still being struck in its traditional bronze composition. That means the coin is made of 95% copper and 5% zinc and tin. Each coin weighs about 3.11 grams, and that copper content alone makes it interesting because today copper itself is worth more than 1 cent. Collectors value these coins not only for their history but also for their metal content, especially since the U.S. Mint changed the composition just a few years later in 1982, when pennies became mostly zinc with only a thin copper coating. So, every 1978 penny is a true piece of old-style U.S. coinage. Part 4. The design of the 1978 penny. The obverse of the coin shows the profile of President Abraham Lincoln facing right, with the motto "In God We Trust" across the top, liberty to the left, and the year 1978 struck boldly to the right. If the coin was minted in Denver or San Francisco, you'll see a tiny D or S mint mark below the year. On the reverse, the coin carries the iconic Lincoln Memorial design, which was introduced in 1959 and lasted until 2008. If you look closely at the memorial with a magnifying glass, you can even see a tiny statue of Lincoln inside, sitting on his chair. That little detail makes the design so beloved by collectors. Part 5. The mint locations. In 1978, the penny was minted in 3 different locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Philadelphia coins usually do not carry a mint mark, Denver coins carry the D, and San Francisco coins carry the S. Each mint has its own story. The Philadelphia mint struck the highest number, producing well over 5 billion pennies. Denver produced slightly fewer but still in the billions, and San Francisco struck proof coins specially made for collectors, which are far scarcer and much more valuable. Part 6. Circulation strikes and proofs. Most 1978 pennies were regular circulation strikes, the type you would get in your pocket change. These are extremely common in worn condition and usually worth just 1 cent. But proof coins, struck in San Francisco with polished dies and specially prepared planchets, have a mirror-like surface and much sharper details. These proofs were sold directly to collectors, not released into circulation, and are worth far more, especially in high-grade condition. Part 7. Why condition matters. Here is where the story gets fascinating. With coins, condition is everything. A heavily worn 1978 penny will only ever be worth face value. But a 1978 penny that has been preserved in pristine, uncirculated condition can be worth hundreds or even thousands. Collectors grade coins on the Sheldon scale from 1 to 70, with mint state 70 being a flawless coin. If you happen to own a 1978 Lincoln penny that grades at MS 67 or higher, you are holding a true treasure. Part 8. Rare errors of the 1978 penny. Errors are what really drive up coin values. The 1978 penny has some famous error varieties that collectors chase after. Examples include double die obverse errors, where the date or lettering looks doubled under magnification, off-center strikes where part of the design is missing, and even clipped planchets where a piece of the coin's edge is cut off. Some dramatic errors can bring hundreds or thousands of dollars at auction. So if you have a 1978 penny, always check carefully for unusual details. Part 9, Collector Demand for the 1978 penny. Collectors love complete Lincoln cent collections. That means they need a coin from every year and every mint mark. Because of this, even common date pennies like the 1978 are always in demand. But demand really spikes for high-grade examples or rare mint errors. The popularity of Lincoln cents makes them one of the most traded coins in the entire U.S. numismatic market. Part 10, the market value overview. Now let's talk about the numbers that matter most. In circulated condition, 1978 pennies are usually worth only 1 cent. In uncirculated condition, depending on the grade, values can climb from $1 to several $100s. Proof examples from San Francisco can be worth between $10 and $50 in high grades. But here is the headline: an exceptional 1978 penny, with near-perfect preservation or a dramatic mint error, has been known to reach a market value of well over $200,000. That's right, a coin that cost 1 cent to make could be worth around $222,677 in today's collector market. Part 11, Auction Records. Auction houses like Heritage Auctions and Stack's Bowers have sold 1978 pennies in stunning condition for thousands of dollars. Error coins especially have shocked the market, with bidders competing fiercely. Each new record pushes the value higher because collectors realize just how rare these perfect coins are in today's world. Many of these coins sat unnoticed in rolls, bags, and collections for decades before finally being discovered. Part 12, Tips for collectors. If you want to search for valuable 1978 pennies, here are some tips. Always check your coin rolls from banks, coin jars at home, and even pocket change. Use a magnifying glass to look for doubled letters, unusual marks, or strong mint luster. Store your finds in protective holders to preserve their condition. And if you think you have an extremely rare example, consider sending it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC to get it certified. Part 13, The Historical Legacy Beyond Value. The 1978 penny connects us to a chapter of American history. It represents a time before the composition change of 1982, when pennies still contained solid copper. It carries the proud legacy of Abraham Lincoln, a president who stood for freedom and unity. It reminds us that even the smallest coin in our pocket can carry a story of art, history, and national pride. Part 14, The Future of the 1978 penny. As time goes on, more and more 1978 pennies will be lost to circulation, melted down, or forgotten. That makes the surviving examples in pristine condition even more valuable. Collectors know that Lincoln cents are among the most widely collected coins on Earth, so future demand will likely grow, pushing market values higher. The 1978 penny is a coin worth saving today because tomorrow its price may be even greater. Part 15, Closing and Call to Action. So, there you have it. The 1978 Lincoln penny, a coin with humble beginnings, rich history, and the potential to be worth an incredible $222,677 on today's market if you hold the right example. Next time you check your change or search through an old coin jar, don't overlook this small copper coin. It might just be your golden ticket to a treasure. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the history and value of the Lincoln cent, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to USA Coins 1, and share this video with other coin enthusiasts. Join me in the next episode where we uncover more hidden gems of American coinage. Until then, happy collecting and keep hunting for that next rare find. Today, we dive deep into one of the most overlooked yet fascinating coins in American history, the 1979 Lincoln penny. At first glance, it may look like just another ordinary cent, but the truth is this coin hides secrets, variations, and values that could shock you. Imagine a coin you casually hand over at a grocery store actually being worth thousands or even over $200,000. Stay with me because by the end of this video, you will know why the 1979 penny can be a real treasure. Part 2, The Creation of the Lincoln PNN. Why the Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. This was groundbreaking because it was the very first U.S. coin to feature a real historical person rather than symbolic figures like Liberty. The 1979 issue continues this tradition, with the obverse proudly showing Lincoln's portrait designed by Victor David Brenner. Over the decades, this coin became one of the most familiar designs in America, passed from hand to hand billions of times, yet some 1979 issues stand apart in value. Part 3. The year 1979 INAMERICA. The year 1979 was significant in American history. The economy was struggling with inflation, gasoline prices were high, and the country was preparing for the dawn of a new decade. Yet amidst all this, the U.S. Mint kept producing billions of pennies, ensuring the Lincoln cent remained the backbone of everyday transactions. These little copper coins might have been small, but they carried big stories of American resilience. Part 4. Design features of the 1979 PNNY. On the front, we see Lincoln's portrait facing right, with the words, "In God We Trust," above, Liberty, on the left side, and the date, 1979, on the right. Some pennies carry a small mint mark below the date, showing where they were struck. The reverse features the majestic Lincoln Memorial, introduced in 1959, where you can even spot a tiny image of the Lincoln statue inside if you look closely with a magnifying glass. These design elements made the penny more than just pocket change, it became a small piece of American art. Part 5. The three main mint locations. The 1979 penny was struck in three locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Philadelphia coins have no mint mark, Denver coins carry a D, and San Francisco coins show an S. Each mint produced millions of these pennies, but variations and conditions drastically affect value. Part 6. How many were made? The U.S. Mint produced over 6.0 billion pennies in 1979. Philadelphia alone made more than 6 billion coins, Denver produced over 4 billion, and San Francisco struck proof coins for collectors. With so many minted, you might wonder, how could any of them be rare or valuable? The answer lies in condition, errors, and demand among collectors. Part 7. Why condition matters? When it comes to coin collecting, condition is king. A 1979 penny that has been circulating for decades might only be worth face value. But if that same penny has survived in pristine uncirculated condition, with a brilliant luster and no scratches, its value can skyrocket. Collectors always look for mint state grades, with MS65, MS67, or even MS68 examples reaching impressive auction prices. Part 8. Rare varieties and ERRS. Now here's where it gets exciting. Some 1979 pennies were struck with errors or special varieties that make them highly desirable. Examples include double-die obverse coins, where the lettering or date shows doubling, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and proof coins with clear S mint marks compared to the older, filled S. These varieties can take an ordinary penny and turn it into a coin worth hundreds or thousands of dollars. Part 9. The 1979 proof PNNES. San Francisco released proof coins for collectors, carefully struck with mirror-like surfaces. The most famous varieties are the Type 1S with a filled mint mark and the Type 2S with a clearer, sharper S. Collectors often pay top dollar for Type 2 proofs in perfect condition, sometimes hundreds or more for just 1 cent. Part 10. Historical SIGNFICNC. The 1979 penny is more than metal, it is history. It represents a time when America was transitioning from the copper era to a new composition. By the early 1980s, the mint shifted from nearly pure copper pennies to zinc-based coins with copper plating. That makes the 1979 issue one of the last full copper cents, adding even more importance to its story. Part 11. Market value basics. Let's talk about money. A circulated 1979 penny is usually worth only 1 cent. However, uncirculated coins can sell for $1 to $10, while rare errors and high-grade proofs can jump into the hundreds. But the real treasure lies in auction records, where the finest examples have sold for staggering amounts. Part 12. Record-breaking sales. Believe it or not, certain 1979 Lincoln pennies in flawless condition with rare varieties have sold for over $200,000 at auction. That's right, what most people dismiss as a single cent could actually be worth more than a luxury home. The most valuable recorded examples have reached figures around $222,677, a life-changing amount for a coin most people ignore in their spare change jar. Part 13. How to check your PNNY. So how can you know if your 1979 penny is valuable? Start by looking at the mint mark. Next, examine the coin under magnification for doubling, mint errors, or unusual features. Finally, check its condition. If it shines with little to no wear, you may want to have it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. Part 14. Collector demand. Today the market for Lincoln pennies is strong, and collectors are always searching for rare dates, varieties, and high-grade coins. Even though billions were made, the number of well-preserved 1979 pennies is shrinking every year. This demand pushes values higher and keeps the excitement alive for treasure hunters and coin enthusiasts. Today we are diving into one of the most fascinating coins from modern American coinage, the 2013 Lincoln penny. At first glance, it looks like just another modern cent. But the truth is that this coin holds far more history, hidden details, and potential collector value than many people realize. Some examples of this coin have been found selling in the market for as much as $222,674, which makes it a coin that deserves every collector's attention. Let's explore why this coin is not just spare change, but possibly a hidden fortune in your pocket. Part 2. The birth of the Lincoln penny. The story of the 2013 penny cannot be told without understanding the legacy of the Lincoln cent itself. First introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, the penny became the first regular-issue U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure. For over a century, it has been the most widely used coin in America, representing history, patriotism, and everyday commerce. Part 3. The transition to the shield reverse. The 2013 penny belongs to the modern shield reverse series, which began in 2010. After decades of the Lincoln Memorial design, the U.S. Mint introduced the Union Shield Reverse to symbolize Lincoln's role in preserving the United States as one nation. The shield design features 13 vertical stripes joined by a single horizontal bar, representing unity. Above it rests the motto E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one. This design shift was a fresh chapter in the Lincoln cent story. Part 4. Denver Mint 2013. The letter D on this penny shows that it was minted in Denver, Colorado. The Denver Mint is famous for producing billions of coins each year for circulation. In 2013 alone, hundreds of millions of these pennies were struck, but what makes some stand out are the errors, conditions, and collector demand that can transform a 1-cent coin into a coin worth thousands. Part 5. The composition. By 2013, the penny had long since changed from its original bronze composition. Today's cents are mostly zinc with a thin copper plating. This makes them lighter and cheaper to produce, but it also means they are prone to scratches, corrosion, and weak strikes. Because of this, finding a perfectly preserved 2013 penny in high grade is extremely rare, adding to its collector value. Part 6. Why modern pennies can be valuable. Many collectors assume modern pennies are worthless. But rarity is not only about age. It's about condition, mint errors, and demand. A coin like the 2013 if discovered in flawless mint state condition or with a dramatic minting error, can command incredible prices at auction. That's how we arrive at the shocking current market reports of specimens valued up to $222,000. Part 7. Error varieties. Error coins from 2013 are among the most exciting finds for collectors. Double die obverse errors can show extra thickness in the lettering. Off-center strikes can reveal blank spaces where the design is missing. Some coins even show plating bubbles caused during the minting process. These errors, when certified by grading companies, can take a penny worth 1 cent and transform it into a treasure. Part 8. The role of grading. Grading is the backbone of coin value. A 2013 penny found in circulation with scratches and wear is worth 1 cent. But in mint state 67 red, graded by PCGS or NGC, its value can skyrocket into the thousands. The color designation also matters. Collectors value pennies described as red far higher than brown or red-brown. Condition is everything in the coin market. Part 9, Auction records over the past decade. Examples of 2013 D Lincoln cents in pristine condition have shocked collectors at auction. Some of these coins, due to rare errors or extraordinary preservation, have fetched values that sound unbelievable for such a modern issue. Market records show numbers in the six-figure range, proving that even pocket change can sometimes change lives. Part 10, Collector demand. The Lincoln cent is the most collected coin in American history. Millions of people began their coin collecting journey with a simple penny folder. That massive demand ensures that rare varieties of every year, even 2013, remain highly desirable. For young collectors, this coin is accessible. For advanced collectors, it is an opportunity to own a flawless modern rarity. Part 11, Hidden fortunes in circulation. The best part about the 2013 D penny is that it can still be found in circulation today. That means a rare and valuable coin could be hiding in your change, waiting to be discovered. Imagine checking your coins and realizing that the penny you just received from a store is worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Part 12, How to check your coins when searching for 2013 D pennies. Always look closely with a magnifying glass. Examine the lettering for doubling. Look at the strike for misalignments. Check the surfaces for scratches, spots, or shine. If you believe you have a rare variety, submit it to a grading service. Authentic certification.